and welcome to Tokyo, a city which dates back to the 12th century. But now with over 38 million people living in the greater Tokyo region, it's a busy and vibrant city and the largest metropolitan area in the world. It is also the host city for next year's Olympic Games, and we're at one of the new state-of-the-art Olympic venues, the Musashino Forest Sports Plaza. And with exactly 1 year to go before the Games, we're here for Finals Day at the Daihatsu Yonex Japan Open. This is the 38th staging of this prestigious event, and it's the second of 5 Super 750 tournaments on the HSBC BWF World Tour, and it's also the 15th event this year. And as you can see, it really is a global tour with events spanning right across the world, from America to Europe to Asia and Oceania, all culminating in the World Tour Finals in Guangzhou in December. Well, as I say, it's finals day today, and all 5 finals for you this afternoon. We're starting with women's singles, and both former champions here, both in their 3rd Japan Open final. Nozomi OKUHARA, the former world champion, is up against Akane Yamaguchi, the former world #1, who will regain her #1 status next Tuesday. Then it's women's doubles and 2 pairs who are both in their 4th final this year. Matsumoto and Nagahara, the reigning world champions, are up against Kim So-young and Kong Hee-young of Korea. Then men's singles, and Kento Momota, the world champion, the world #1, the defending champion here, is up against the Asian Games gold medalist Jonathan Christie. Then mixed doubles, and Jordan and Octavianti of Indonesia in a 5th World Tour tournament final, still looking for their 1st World Tour titles though. They're up against the 2017 winners Wang Yilu and Huang Dongping, who are today in their 3rd consecutive final here in Japan. Then we finish with men's doubles, and Gideon and Sukamolio, the world #1s, the 2-time defending champions, going for a 3rd consecutive title here, up against the 2-time former world champions Asan and Setiowan, the 2013 winners here at the Japan Open. So with women's singles being our first final of the day, a chance for us to look at the race to Guangzhou standings. And I can tell you 8 of the top 10 have contested a World Tour final this year. Our 2 finalists, as you can see, are #2 and 3 at the moment, but they will both move up 1 place after today's final, regardless of who wins, which pushes Ratchanok Intanon down to 3rd spot. So the magnificent trophy that the players play for at the World Tour Finals, and here they are waiting in the wings for the introduction to the final stage. Nerve-wracking times for both players. But when we look at the draw from the quarterfinal stage, 6 different nationalities, and I suppose at the quarterfinal, the biggest surprise was the wonderful win by Michelle Lee over the former champion and current world #1, Tai Su-ying. But the 2 former champions have come through to the final. It's Okuhara against Yamaguchi. Nozomi OKUHARA, champion here in 2015, beating her opponent of today in that final 4 years ago. The former world champion who won the world title in Glasgow 2 years ago. Olympic bronze medalist at the last Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Today, contesting her 3rd Japan Open final, because she was beaten in the final a year ago. So this is her 2nd consecutive final here at the Japan Open. former world #1, Akane Yamaguchi, who will return to the #1 spot in the world when the world rankings are published next Tuesday. Winner of this title in 2013 as a qualifier, as a 16-year-old. And when she won this title that year, she became the youngest ever winner of a Super Series title. So this, like her opponents, is her third Japan Open final. Contesting her 5th final of the year, Akane Yamaguchi. Well, what a stage and what a setting for the home fans. An all-Japanese women's singles final. And this the 19th meeting between the two players. The last time they met was in the semi-final of the Malaysian Super 750, the first of the 750 events earlier this year. And as you can see, Akane Yamaguchi won on that occasion. But that the magnificent trophy that the players are playing for, I can tell you that this is actually the third meeting between these two players in a final. Not only the final here 4 years ago, won by Nozomi OKUHARA, but they also met in the final of the 2017 Australian Super Series. Okuhara is 24 years of age, born in Nagano, which is the city that hosted the 1998 Winter Olympic Games. Making her 7th appearance here, and earlier this week she went down 1 spot from her career high, went down to #3 after 17 weeks in total as world #2. Now, in the first round, she beat teammate Kawakami in 2 straight games. Second round against the European Games gold medalist Mia Blichfeld. Quarter-final against Jindapon. 3 games, that was a thriller. 1 hour and 21 minutes. And a semi-final against Michelle Lee, who had caused such a sensation on quarter-finals day by beating the world #1 and the former champion here, Tai Tzu Ying. So to Akane Yamaguchi, who turned 22 last month. Up 2 places this week in the world ranking, former world #1, but she will go back to #1 again next week. She will also go to #1 on the race to Guangzhou standings, as I was saying just a moment ago. She is in her 5th final of the year. For Akane Yamaguchi, well, she came through against a player promoted from the reserve list, Kosetskaya of Russia, just 28 minutes for that one. Then Cheng Xiaoxin of China. Then in the quarterfinal, the #5 seed, Pusala Venkata Sindhu, in a repeat of the final from last week in Jakarta. Then the semi-final, she got revenge for the Sudirman Cup defeat against Chen Yufei, the #2 seed from China. So all of her matches in 2 straight games. So I'm Jill Clark, delighted to say that Steen Petersen, former head coach of the Danish national team, is sitting alongside me. And I suppose for the home fans, you couldn't have asked for a better start to finals day. 2 players from Japan contesting the final.
No, it's fantastic. And they've also rewarded the players by showing up here in the Oshishino Forest Sports Plaza. It is totally full. And I just hope we'll get a great match. I think the matches are perfectly, these 2 players.
Well, there is the traditional talking to that Nozomi OKUHARA gives herself before the deep bow, before entering the courts. Very respectful player. And just before play gets underway, she will bow to all 4 corners of the court, acknowledging not only the umpire and service judge, but also the line judges as well. Our umpire, Iris Metsbalu of Estonia, and
ladies and
Victor
gentlemen,
Wong,
on my
the
right,
service judge
Nozomi
from Hong
OKUHARA,
Kong.
Japan. And on my left, Akane Yamaguchi, Japan. Akane Yamaguchi to serve, love all. Play.
So the 2013 winner, the number 4 seed this year, Akane Yamaguchi, up against the 2015 winner, the number 3 seed, Nozomi OKUHARA. OKUHARA nearest to us, this a repeat of the 2015 final. That final 4 years ago, which this lady won 21-18, 21-12 in 41 minutes. But in all honesty, Steen, I think since then, Yamaguchi has improved considerably as a player.
Yeah, she's played extremely well these 2 weeks here in Indonesia and Japan. We also saw here as Okuhara kills that net shot. Well done. We also saw the road to graphics that she had only conceded 18 points at most in the game. That was the first game against PV Sindhu. Otherwise it was 15 at the most that any opponent had scored, so that was impressive.
Service over.
But it's also totally different
1-2.
complexion to this match here, because it is teammates, they know each other so well. They also play a player of almost same height, which is not that often they do that. So very interesting to see what's going to happen here in the first game. And then we have coaching, which normally not is the case when two players from the same country play each other.
Good rally. Yeah, that's landed in. And the reason they have coaching is it's their team coaches, is that right?
Yeah, it's the company coaches that are present here at the Japan Open.
Well, for the record, this is the 3rd time here at the Japan Open. We've had an all-Japanese women's singles final. And only the 2nd time on the World Tour this year that we've had a same nation women's singles final. The first was at the Spain Masters with 2 Danes.
That's right. That was Kersfeld and... no.
Yes, Kersfeld.
Kersfeld and Blichfeld.
Well judged.
Service over. 2-4.
Very patient start by both players. Was pretty special from Okuhara's perspective that she's in her 2nd consecutive final here at this particular tournament.
Service over.
Some consistency in her performance.
So we should mention that Gong Xixiao was in 4 consecutive finals here at the Japan Open. that's beauty. That's a lovely shot.
6-4.
Well, we were talking, I think it was yesterday's team with Okuhara, or maybe it was quarterfinals day when she was playing against Jindapon, about the fact that she wasn't hitting the lines enough. We felt that she was too safe in her play.
Yeah, that's true. And yesterday in the semi-final, she actually got
Good shot.
much better quality in her game. Got it closer to the lines in the match against Michelle Lee.
It's gone long. Oh, we were talking earlier in the week about the possibility of a very slight drift, but you and I have come to the conclusion that this is nigh on perfect playing conditions. There's going to be a slight drift in any big arena, natural air currents. It's wonderful conditions for the players.
Especially yesterday, it seemed totally absent, that little drift there was. Definitely capable of putting the shuttle long on both ends of the court.
Going wide. There, another hard-fought rally.
Service over. 7-6.
The longest rally of the match so far. Oh, that's nice. Looked as if she was going to lift, play back to the net.
Service over. 7-all.
I suppose there's a little bit of a question mark in my mind, Steen, about the cumulative tiredness for Yamaguchi, having won the title last week in Indonesia. She had 2 extra matches to play in comparison to her opponent, and whether the accumulation of that tiredness, the fact that she couldn't fly here to Japan until, she wouldn't have arrived at the earliest until Monday.
Monday morning at the earliest. Yeah, that's true, but again, when you win tournament, you tend to get energized, but I totally understand what you're saying, and I think you're right. I just think that after match 1, 2 in this tournament, you get by not using that much energy. You actually continue to play well.
Yeah.
And Yamaguchi, she seems fairly level-headed, so I don't think she's dragged into all kinds of interviews and other stuff here.
8-all.
And as you pointed out, she has won all of her matches pretty comfortably. So physical tiredness, yeah, I take your point.
So it's more the mental part of it, I think. Yeah.
Yamaguchi taking all the initiative.
Yeah.
She's missed that one, but she's the one taking all the initiative, and this lady, Okuhara, is just doing all the retrieving.
But initially I had Yamaguchi as the favorite for today's match. I think she's played better than Yamaguchi's seen over the past 2 weeks. There's no doubt she has, but it's different. I think it's easier for Okuhara to retrieve the shots from Yamaguchi. She's not threatening with angled smash.
No, I think this one, oh, I'm not sure we're going to see it. I think it may have hit Okuhara.
She didn't get out of her way, or what?
Well, yeah.
At least that's what it's called. Or,
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Leslie.
or called good. No, but that was an interesting touchdown spot it had, that shuttle.
It's gone wide. I do think, though, in comparison to last week, this lady is wearing more and more strapping on her legs, so maybe the physicality, yeah, maybe it is taking its toll. Look, both knees are strapped, I think.
And the left thigh as well.
So, a 2-point advantage to the former world #1. Having come from behind. 4-6 deficit at one stage. Into the mid-game interval after 11 minutes. And a 2-point advantage. Steen, can you see who the coach is? Is that Shoji Sato for Okuhara?
I didn't really see that, but I was wondering whether when he walked in.
Because he also works as national. And now, here we are. Here's all that strapping we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks quite significant. This is 4 straight points for the #4 seed, Yamaguchi. Very physical rallies. Yeah, finally forced Nozomi OKUHARA
13-9
to play the backhand from deep in court. And Yamaguchi knew that it could only be a drop shot. And she was ready and waiting. Longest rally so far. Oh dear.
14-9.
This is straight points now.
No, that didn't look like Sato.
You got a glimpse of the coach?
Yeah, only from the side.
Okay. I'd be surprised if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, game forced to take it late. Okuhara.
It seems like Yamaguchi, like we expected, has the best shot quality currently, and is quicker on the shuttle, so to speak, that she takes it early at the net and directs the rallies. The question is, what does these long rallies do to her in the long run? There's another mistake. There's too many mistakes with Okuhara. That's been the case also throughout the tournament, the way I see it. So, strong accomplishment reaching the final.
Finally, the run comes to an end, but after 7 straight points.
10-15.
It's put a very, very different complexion on this opening game. Oh, what a head shot.
16.
That slithered over the net. Oh, that's just a moment of magic. Oh, Yamaguchi, take a look at this. It really did slither over the net.
Yeah, that was a great drop shot from Okuhara. Even better return.
Service over. 11-16.
Do you think Okuhara's got to start taking a little bit of an initiative herself, or is that really not a start? There,
Oh, it is
Sato.
Yeah.
It is Sato. I'm very surprised at that.
Maybe he's responsible for Okuhara when the other players are back practicing in their companies. We don't know that.
Yeah.
We know that he's often behind the court
11.
with Kento Momota.
Yeah.
And coaching, Sato is coaching company NTT East.
Always landed in.
But the thing about whether she should take more initiative, I think right now it would be a good thing. But if it means that she creates more mistakes, then of course it's not so good. It depends how she feels, whether she feels that, okay, I can still play reasonably long rallies, but at the moment she's retrieving most of them. She's the one who's getting chased around the court. So it seems like it would be a good idea to increase the pace. I just think that she doesn't feel she has the accuracy in a pace that's much higher than this.
Yeah.
19, 11.
11 of the last 13 points to Yamaguchi.
And after a relatively even start, so far the first game has panned out as expected compared to the way they played throughout the tournament, these two players.
20, game point,
12
11.
of the last 14 points, and now 9 game point opportunities for Akane Yamaguchi. Missed it.
Service over. 12-20.
Yeah, now that's, I like that shot from Okuhara. And that one.
30, 20.
Opening game on our third game point opportunity.
Akane Yamaguchi, 21-13.
Umpire confirms that scoreline, 21-13, the opening game. 20 minutes of play. And really, it was that run from 8-9 down. 7 straight points to go 15-9 up. That's what made all the difference. Confirmation 21-13 in the 20 minutes. So the coaches, Ikeda and Hashimoto for Yamaguchi.
Ikeda, director from the Shai Shunkan company.
Yeah. They look pretty happy, don't they? Pretty relaxed.
Same team where the young women's doubles of Matsuyama and Shida is playing.
He was a fine singles player himself, wasn't he, Shoji Sato?
He was quick on his feet as well.
He was. 3 All-England quarterfinals, 14 career singles titles.
And went on doubles player as well.
Yeah, that's right. Naoki Kawakame.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got his family name quite right there, have I?
Second game. Level.
Kawamae.
I wouldn't know.
Kawamae, I think his name was. I do beg your pardon. Left.
We'll also here in the second game, at least in the start of the second game, we'll have a better read on the drift, because it might have been that Okuhara was playing with some drift alongside the court and felt that she couldn't really push her shots enough. She was the one who chose to start in the near side. Wow.
Too close.
Well, good start to this second game by Okuhara. Oh, that's found the line. Oh, there's challenge, first challenge of finals day.
Goal in.
I think if it's found the line, it must be the outer side of it, the way I initially saw it.
No, that's a great challenge. That's a great challenge.
Correction out. Service over. 1-3. Play.
That one's gone wide as well. Steen, I'm wondering with Okuhara, this is her third final of the year, first two finals in Singapore and Australia, lost them both. Do you think it's becoming a bit of a block for her that she can't seem to just close out a tournament, or maybe whether it's psychological or whether it's technical, that she just is coming up a little bit short and she needs to improve her game?
Yeah, I think she would like to win a tournament. I really think so. We discussed it earlier in this tournament, or was it last week in Indonesia, that in Australia Open she lost the final with 12-3.
Yeah.
21-3 in the second game to Chen Yufei, and looked totally lost, and she just wanted the earth to open and swallow her, so that she could get away from that court. She got 7 points in the second game last week against PV Sindhu, so she suffered a couple of big defeats, and I think that does something to you where she always was a player who was hard to beat.
Yeah.
And it seems like also the way her body language here, it seems like there's some spark of not believing enough in yourself because you've had some experiences that sort of took away that.
Yeah. Well, I've had exactly the same feeling. That's why I asked the question.
This it's a good rally, but it's basically just moving the shot around in the four corners.
Yeah.
And that's hardly going to win.
No.
Service over.
But that was my point on quarterfinals day when we watched Okuhara play. That because she's won so many matches where she outruns her opponent and gets so much back, it's almost as if she's gone into this retrieving mode instead of also looking to say to herself, where am I going to win the rallies? I can't rely on opponents making errors. I've got to have some winning shots.
But the thing is, I think she's played more or less the same way, and I still think it's good enough if her shot making is good enough, but that's not up to the mark at the moment. There isn't that quality of the shots.
Now
they're not there. They are a little bit, they're just a little bit out. They're just a little bit unsharp.
That was a good one, sir.
That was a good one. And I mean, again, we must put it into perspective. It's a player who's reached the final in Japan Open Super 750, so it's not like we have to call emergency or anything. It's just she's the former world champion. She's won the World Tour finals. That's a great smash.
Yeah.
And it's just not there continuously at the moment.
And this is the sort of shot that I would like to see her play more often.
Yeah. But sometimes it can be small things. Let's say Yamaguchi is a little bit tired and eventually she makes more mistakes like this, and there's nothing more left mentally in Yamaguchi. So this little success experience that it might be for Okuhara, that could help her immensely in the tournaments coming forward.
Yeah.
But I think there's something mentally about it, that she's sort of taken a decision. She's quit her company team here to focus entirely on the Olympics, and I think you've got to get used to that pressure. It's not like you're not playing here because you feel like you want to win the Japan Open or whatever it is. You're playing because you have a goal of winning the Olympics, and right now the results are not suggesting that you're going to win the Olympics. But you still might do it because you have to believe in yourself that you're on the right track and you have a long-term plan.
Yeah, super.
That's well played.
And she took more initiative in that rally.
Yes.
That's good play.
9-5.
It's going wide.
It's a shot like that when I think back, then she did not make errors on those kind of shots.
When she won her world title.
No, definitely not. But it's very possible that a lot of the focus at the moment is on physicality and building a strong basis. And if that's the case, then it's really amazing to be in the final here.
Oh. Well, with hindsight, wrong choice of shot from
7-9.
Okuhara. Play the attempted cross-court clear. But Yamaguchi was very alert to that. Longest of the second game.
There was 3 good shots, but the last shot ruins the overall impression. Had that been inside the line and it had been a winner, then it was like, okay, 4 good shots in a row, 4 really high quality shots in a row. That's promising.
Yeah. Well, having had a 4-point advantage, now just 1 point in it.
Oh, you lost the racket.
Oh my goodness.
10-8.
Wide.
Service over. 9-10.
I think it's psychologically important for Okuhara. She has the advantage at the mid-game interval.
Yeah.
Well, there'll only be 1 point in it, either way.
10.
And back to when she won the World Championships, you never got points like that.
No. Well, it is Akane Yamaguchi who has the advantage at the mid-game interval, having won 6 of the last 7 points. Now, I think we can safely say that the momentum is with Yamaguchi. Fortunate, really, for Okuhara that the mid-game interval has come.
Yeah, she had a good lead, 9-5.
a saying in English, desperate times calls for desperate measures. I'm not sure it's desperate times yet for Okuhara, but yes, having lost 6 of the last 7 points, maybe she needs to rethink.
Service over. 11-all.
Yeah, that's really difficult. Whether you should continue and believe that it's going to win you this game here, or you should try and change a little bit. That's a game time decision. That's something you've got to get a feel for yourself when you're standing on court.
Service over. 12-11. Service over. 12-all.
How did she play that? And then gets the cross court.
Service over. 13.
Well, there's no doubt in the early stages of that rally that Okuhara was trying to lift the pace of the rally.
Good shot.
First real signs to me that Yamaguchi is tired.
It's the best rally for Okuhara the whole day.
13-all.
Yeah.
Well, the court going to be mopped of the perspiration. Well, as far as Yamaguchi is concerned, trying to win her 3rd World Tour title of the year, which would equal Chen Yufei's already won 3.
Play. Service over. 14-13.
Oi, that's a good shot.
Great disguise, great skill and great precision. Look at that, that's landed in front of the front service line there.
disguised jump, drop.
Yeah.
Cross, jump, drop.
2-point cushion now for Yamaguchi. This is a big point.
Yeah.
Important point. It's gone wide.
Service over. 14-15.
This was again a really good point because she pushed it a little bit, Okuhara, but still stayed within the line, so to speak, and the lines on court as well.
Yeah.
If she pushes it too much, I think she will risk commit too easy errors, but on the other hand, she can't leave too much initiative with Yamaguchi because she can see the goal line now. It's only 6 points.
15 all.
Back level. Oh, that's a delightful block.
Service over. 16-15. Fault.
Wonderful.
17-15.
Well, the fault has been called on Okuhara. Let's have a look. Did she touch the... No, she didn't. I think that was the shuttle, don't you?
Yeah, I think it was, but it's difficult to see even in replay.
Yeah, and these umpires have to make split-second decisions.
Thank you.
Don't get me in the umpire's chair, you know that. But I thought, looking at it again, it was the shuttle that touched the net.
Match point 15.
Well, it was 15-16, I think, when that fault was called.
Yeah.
And since then, all points to Yamaguchi. Match point opportunities, 5 of them. And that's gone long, and it is a second Japan Open title for Akane Yamaguchi, who will become the world #1 once again next week. 21-13, 21-15, the margin of her victory against the former world champion, Nozomi OKUHARA. So a third World Tour title of the year for Akane Yamaguchi, to add to the German Open and the Indonesian Open. So 2 titles in 2 weeks of a Super 1000 and a Super 750 event is pretty impressive.
The third player to accomplish it in women's singles in the World Tour era.
Well, back-to-back titles.
With Super 1000 and Super 750. Tai Tzu-Ying and Marin has done it last year.
So 46 minutes for that final and for that victory. And I'm sure Akane Yamaguchi absolutely delighted, not only with the Japan Open title. We knew once she'd won her quarter-final and Tai Tzu-Ying had lost her quarter-final that Akane Yamaguchi would become world #1 once again. But let's find out what she has to say about that final.
場内の皆様、今年のダイハツヨネックスジャパンオープン女子シングルス制しました山口茜選手です。おめでとうございます。
Ladies and gentlemen, winner of women's singles, Akane Yamaguchi.
決勝での日本人対決を制してこの大会6年ぶりの優勝ということになりました。今お気持ちいかがですか？
So the winning of the first time in 6 years, how are you feeling now?
6年ぶりって聞くとなんかもう若くないみたいなんですけど、まだ22歳なんですけど、優勝できてすごくこの日本っていう地で優勝できてとても嬉しいです。
So first time in 6 years, and it sounds like I'm not young anymore, but I'm still 22, and I'm so happy that I won in Japan here.
前回の優勝は高校1年生の時でしたが、それ以来の優勝となりました。さあということで今回これだけ大勢のファンの皆さんも詰めかけていただいています。ファンの皆さんに向けてメッセージお願いします。
So last time you won was when you were 16 years old, and now tell us a message to your fans.
はい、応援ありがとうございました。やっぱり茜ちゃんって応援してもらえるとすごく力になって頑張れるので、これからもよろしくお願いします。
Thank you for your support. Call me Akane, and I'll be very energetic with your support. Thank you.
見事女子シングルス制しました山口茜選手でした。おめでとうございました。
Well, I think we saw Akane Yamaguchi more animated during that interview than I think I've ever seen her before. Well, you can always tell when she's disappointed with herself, but that was lovely to see her smile and be so animated about her victory here today.
But I also think it's lovely to see her be herself, be true to who she is. This is the way she goes about business, and I'm certain that she's bubbling with joy inside. Huge congratulations to Akane Yamaguchi.
Yes, and there's how she won her second Japan Open title. 21-13, 21-15 in 46 minutes. A third final for the 2015 champion here at the Japan Open. But the winner, Akane Yamaguchi, her fourth title of the year, a third World Tour title of the year. Because as well as her World Tour title, she also won the Badminton Asia Championships. Former player presenting the prizes, that's very nice. The medals.
Runner-up earns a prize money of $25,500. それでは優勝の山口茜選手に世界バドミントン連盟理事事業本部長ピーター・マスラよりまず優勝プレートが贈られます。The winner's plate will be presented to the winner by Mr. Peter Chancellor, Council Member, Chair of Badminton World Federation. 優勝賞金は$52,600 です。The winner earns a prize money of $52,500. 以上で女子シングルス表彰式を終了いたします。両選手の健闘をたたえ、どうぞ今一度大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
A little smile there from Okuhara anyway, and I think actually there's no reason not to smile, because reaching the final here and still having lots of possibility of improving your game, that bodes well for the future. No reason why she shouldn't be able to play even better and win tournaments again this year.
Well, given the Japanese flag, and I wonder if in a year's time the Japanese flag will be flying high come the Olympic women's singles tournament. Of course, today will be day 4 of competition in the badminton event at next year's Olympic Games. So, as Yamaguchi poses for the photographers, we look forward to our next final of the day. It features the reigning world champions Matsumoto and Nagahara up against Kim So-young and Kong Hee-young from Korea.